LIV Golf takes the world by storm, with securing a huge broadcasting TV deal, and what this means for the series and the golf world in general will surprise you. While the media has so far focused on the shocking move PGA players to the LIV Golf series and mouth-watering deals, the truth remains that the Saudi-sponsored league is making steady progress and giving the PGA Tour a run for its money. LIV Golf has desperately needed a broadcasting deal since it launched and has been hoping to secure one for the last several weeks. And guess what? They finally did. The Upstart Series finally secured a deal by locking up a multi-year broadcasting agreement with a prominent TV network, bringing LIV Golf to a traditional television platform in the United States. While LIV Golf hails it as a major victory, LIV detractors view it as defeat. And those polar responses should not surprise anyone. The past year of civil war in professional golf has proven reality varies depending on the beholder. And this deal is no different. But what does it mean for LIV Golf and the golf community? Keep an eye out for more details. Few days until kicking off its second season and 6 months after holding its inaugural event, LIV Golf CEO Greg Norman is now able to check off one of his most important goals, which was to secure a large-scale broadcasting deal before the second season gets underway, as the Saudi-backed series is set to air its tournaments for the very first time on U.S. broadcast television. Norman called the agreement momentous and believes that the new partnerships with the CW network will create all sorts of new exposure for everyone on the roster. As revealed by ESPN, under the arrangement, CW Network will broadcast the opening event for LIV Golf's second season, which is expected to take place at the El Chameleon Golf Course in Mexico. According to a press release, the opening rounds of all LIV Golf events will be available on the CW app. The weekend rounds of LIV's tournaments will be featured on the CW Network channel. While the exact terms of the broadcasting agreement have not yet been shared, sources from both parties have quietly confirmed that it is a revenue-sharing agreement. Even though LIV Golf is paying for all of the future production costs, some revenue will be flowing back in its direction, which has to be music to the ears of Greg Norman, who has been operating his break-off league at a major loss for its first shortened season. CEO and Commissioner of LIV Golf, Greg Norman, has been trying to find a broadcasting partner for the golfing league he currently manages for much of the last year. Norman said it was one of the critical moves the boys on LIV Golf targeted. Norman has also made another shocking revelation.
The fastest to ever get to a network deal with CW than any other sports league in the history.
It did take longer than expected, but the World Golf Hall of Famer had the pleasure of announcing the positive news to everyone on January 19th. And many of his largest doubters were silent when the news broke of this multi-year broadcasting agreement with CW Network for the league's second season and beyond. The broadcasting agreement won't only bring a ton of new exposure to LIV Golf's athletes and partners, but it will also allow Commissioner Greg Norman to transition his focus towards other things on the long list of requests that members of his tour are seeking. Now, a massive broadcasting deal has been sealed. Norman will likely focus on bringing official World Golf Ranking eligibility to LIV Golf and begin to prioritize corporate sponsorships. Many of the highly ranked golfers will slowly plummet in the official World Golf Rankings with every passing day. This means that golfers like British Open champion Cam Smith, Brooks Koepka, and even Dustin Johnson will drop from their positions in the world rankings and lose eligibility to major championships like the Masters. Not only will LIV Golf try to follow up their broadcasting deal with the eligibility for official World Golf Ranking points, but Norman is likely to pursue more corporate sponsors to offset the massive financial deficit that LIV Golf has taken on during its first year. Meanwhile, it may be possible for participants of LIV Golf to play in the Masters tournament through the rankings. That possibly may change in the future if they continue to drop in the rankings. LIV Golf has not yet qualified for the eligibility of ranking points, and it's not clear whether they will by the end of their second season. However, the broadcasting deal allows Commissioner Greg Norman to brag about his accomplishments, especially since he has been facing more and more pressure in recent weeks about delivering on his promises. According to Norman, LIV's platform and its format speak for itself, so the marriage between LIV and CW and getting in front of over 120 million homes speaks for itself, as both organizations see the value in each other.
The households speaks for itself, quite honestly. They see the value in it, and we see the value in them.
And that's not all. The LIV Golf Commissioner also boasted that the deal with CW wasn't the only offer on the table.
We weren't the only one. We had multiple other bidders at the table at the same time.
Well, it's easy for Norman to say because LIV Golf never made public any previous offers they received. However, There had been indications that LIV Golf was actively negotiating with Fox Sports to try and secure a broadcasting partnership to stream events on its sports-related channel, and according to speculations, the Saudi-backed series would buy airtime on Fox Sports to air its tournament. You see, while media companies typically pay sports leagues a reasonable rights fee to air their products, the supposed deal would not have seen LIV receive payment. Instead, the controversially financed LIV would have bought time on the cable channel to air all its events, a move that would have been vastly interpreted as a failure to attract serious commercial interest in what they had to offer, which would have been a major blow to Norman's efforts. According to a well-placed industry executive, LIV struck out with approaches to multiple broadcasters, including CBS, NBC, Apple, Amazon, and Disney, and that Fox Sports got involved only at the request of Lachlan Murdoch, Fox Corp's chief executive officer and executive chairman. According to the source, there were people at Fox who wanted nothing to do with this, but they were forced to do it. Last October, Sports Business Journal reported that Jared Kushner, Donald Trump's son-in-law, had been calling broadcasts in an effort to generate interest in a LIV TV package. In 2021, Kushner's private equity firm, Affinity Partners, secured over $2 billion in funding from the Saudi Public Investment Fund. LIV requested a rights fee for year 2 of any deal and guaranteed time slot on network television, but both proposals were rejected by Fox, according to insiders privy to the specifics of the conversations. It is believed Fox offered to reevaluate network placement at a later date. Also, LIV would have been responsible for 2 tasks that would usually fall to a broadcast partner: the production of its tournament broadcasts and selling commercial sponsorships during its time slots. All of these is what is believed to have made the agreement fall through in the final days of 2022, and the new opportunity with the CW network became available quite quickly. Although financial terms of the deal weren't released, the Upstart series won't receive rights fees from the network and would continue to pay production costs as it did last year during its inaugural season in 2022. According to the CW network president Dennis Miller, the deal between both organizations will deliver a whole new audience and add to the growth of worldwide excitement for the league. With CW's broadcasts and streams, more fans around the globe can play a part in the LIV Golf energy and view its progressive competition that has reimagined the sport for fans, players, and the game of golf, Miller said in a statement. The CW, which has 14 hours of primetime programming weekly, is majority owned by Nexstar Media Group, the country's largest local television and media company. It's the first time the CW has been an exclusive broadcast home for live mainstream sports. Norman, on the other hand, expressed how honored his organization felt to be aligning with the network. And we are glad to be joining forces to further bring LIV Golf to life as they stake their claim in professional sports. As for the critics of LIV Golf, here's what the Shark has to say.
Potential. What is that potential? The franchise model, the NFL model, the NBA model, the MLB model.
Apparently, LIV's strategy is to unlock a franchise model. But what are your thoughts on this appealing strategy? And what do you think about LIV's huge TV deal? Let us know in the comments section below. For more intriguing golf content from us, click on one of these videos.